Welcome back to Major League Sorare, the Sorare specialty show focusing on the America division, hyper focused on MLS. I'm here with your boy DraftKicks. It's TrippinB, the biggest stars on Sorare TV. Are we? I don't know. I don't no shade on any of the other creators out there, but we're loving all the feedback and everything that everybody's saying about Major League Sorare, helping them out. We had people shouting out, their big wins. And Schuyler, they said you had some good advice for them. Probably they just, if they faded me and listened to what you said, they probably did pretty well because I've been struggling lately.
Yeah, for once, had a definite decisive come through, had the juicy assist.
Hey, now we'll get there.
On the Gallagher goal. It wasn't, I called the goal. We'll take the assist, highlight that little yellow box there in the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Go ahead and, so we'll take it. But yeah, man, it's, hey, last weekend was fun. I had the international break with some MLS mixed in. I missed my thresholds because I was not aware of Latif Blessing. I guess he got cut in training the day before the game, and I had to get stitches. And so, yeah, that was a little bit of a whammy there, but I was able to come through with a decent showing in All-Star Rare, won a card or two, won a little bit of ETH. And yeah, it's like market's finally ticking up. Like, hey, things are happening, man. I'm living life over here. So
we will be discussing the market today, but the main focus, like we always do here in the middle of the week, is Gameweek 359 preview. We like to talk about what's coming up, and it's a big week. There's a lot of renewed energy, people coming back from international breaks. You wonder, is there going to be extra rotation because guys they come back but they need an extra little bit of rest for their travel? Are they going to play fewer minutes or maybe not going to start? There's all kinds of concerns. You really want to be on top of the news. Follow Sorare USA on Twitter and check his availability reports. They're going to be crucial this week, as they always are. But we begin whenever we just do these previews, we want to look at the odds and the matchups, right? So let's get going with some of these odds and talk about what's out there in terms of who's the big favorites of the week. I should have scrolled to the top of this page to get it started, but it is April Fool's Day, but hopefully there's no crazy tricks in store for our lineups. Atlanta, a home favorite against New York Red Bulls, just barely. Columbus Crew looking nice after the big win without Zelarayan or Cucho Hernandez last week. They're favored against a struggling Real Salt Lake team. Cincinnati's at home, and they get Miami. How the mighty Miami has fallen the last couple of weeks after they looked really good to start the season right out of the gate. Sounders, slight dogs going to LA Galaxy, but Galaxy have been so bad. I like the Sounders in a rare road match in that situation. New York City's got to go on the road to resurgent New England, who's up at the top of the table and looking like they were a couple seasons ago. I don't know. I'd love your thoughts on that, Schuyler, in a second. Just let me finish the list real quick. Orlando, slight fave, hosting Nashville. Philadelphia Union getting all their guys back. Big fave over Sporting. My beloved For the Crown, baby, Charlotte FC, heading north of the border to Toronto. We were 0-3 in Canada in our inaugural season last year, and we will be plus 240 dogs here on Saturday. The Fire have a minus number of their favorites. FC Dallas, one of the bigger favorites of the week at home against Portland. St. Louis, everyone's starting to believe in St. Louis now. They're the favorites at home. You got a taste of their home atmosphere and how great it is. And they will be hosting hapless Minnesota United, although Minnesota doing better than some might have thought without Reynoso. LAFC road favorites. LAFC road favorites at Colorado. San Jose hosting Houston, who's been kind of better than people thought, but San Jose is favored. And finally, the Whitecaps, a tiny little favorite over Club de Foot de Montreal. So what jumps out at you from the matchups, man? I just went through a bunch there, but what do you like?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's some juicy matchups this week for sure. Philadelphia at home against Kansas City, like as long as Philadelphia has their full side, that one jumps out for sure. Andre Blake is supposed to be back. I just picked up an Andre Blake rare. So apparently though, report that I just read before we jumped on, Kai Wagner is having an MRI, so Kai Wagner could be out. Something for any Wagner holders to take note of.
We do not like.
But that game that game looks juicy.
I'm looking
to say it, but like Toronto at home against Charlotte kind of looks a little juicy to me.
We'll get into that later. I might have a defiant answer to that when we get to the end of this episode. But Yeah, I'm bringing up,
Yeah.
here's the Unions matchups. If we look at, Philly as a big favorite, let's look at their Sorare matchups. You can see it's over 50. All their matchups for every position are in the green. We got to like that. As for Toronto, they're in the high greens. That with they're looking very strong. Charlotte's been having trouble scoring goals this year, so it makes sense that the goalkeeper and defensive matchups are looking pretty nice for Toronto and the midfielders. So it could, at home, Bernadeschi's going to have a chance, but I actually really like Charlotte's chances this week of sort of getting back to good. We'll have to see. I could be just a shameless Homer fan who just can't get out of my head.
Yeah.
But Charlotte's faced some tough opposition to start the season, and now the next 5 games have way lower like overall combined win-loss record, which is kind of nice. So we'll see.
Yeah, and hey, I mean, you're a true homer over there. You're still wearing your jersey from the last show, like you haven't changed.
The crown
your washer and dryer is broken or what? But
I mean, hey, we're undefeated.
Might as well get it tattooed on.
Yeah, we didn't lose, so I can't be mad. I actually really liked it. The funny thing is you can't really see it too much on this monitor, but there's these inlays of like these sort of crowns that are like set into the fabric, which looks, everyone compliments it and says like when they're looking at you from the outside, they're like, oh, that looks so cool. That looks so cool. But then when I'm wearing it, whenever I look down at myself, I think it's like a little speck of dust. I'm always like, get this like dust because it's a little crown inlet. So what can you do?
Got to brush that crown off your shoulder.
Yeah,
right?
I'm constantly doing this number. People they already think I'm arrogant enough. Now they probably think I'm super arrogant. So. But back to the odds, the crown or underdogs,
some really good matchups,
pretty big ones. So
yeah, like Crew at home against Salt Lake after Salt Lake just got rocked by St. Louis in Salt Lake, and Columbus laid it on Atlanta, 6 goals. Like that one looks juicy. I actually just picked up a Lucas Zelarayan and a kind of just a real odd swap. Somebody offered me Zelarayan rare for Artur super rare, which I know super rares are starting to trend up in the market. Yeah, and so I was a little hesitant to do it just because Artur is like a great like Cat 240 play. But like Ryan Gauld was one of my top rare midfielders, so I really needed like a good,
Gauld is struggling.
Yeah, Gauld's dipped a little bit this season, or a lot bit. And so like the Zelarayan pickup felt good to add him to the collection.
So Matt Maxey gets a super rare midfielder in exchange for his elite Lucas card. That's pretty interesting. Are you worried that Lucas sometimes had like slow rebound performances when he would come back from Armenia last year? So hopefully that's on the cards here because it's a juicy matchup. I think his so rare data matchup is like AAA on the old matchup screen. But yeah, I mean, as for like ETH price plus averages, plus floor, it looks like you come out ahead in value in this trade. It's not the second time you've done it, right? We might as well, since we're talking trades, let's just get there. You see the caption on there, blockbuster trade. That's not the only blockbuster trade that DraftKicks has been pulling off lately. You also did a huge one where you got rid of your son, Julian Gressel, your guy. Like, what happened there?
Yeah. It was hard to see him go, but
call it up in a second.
Yeah, so Nepenthes, I didn't know much about the guy. Apparently a big time YouTuber, FIFA foot collector, and reached out and sent me an offer. Originally it was Bruno Fernandes rare for my Julian Gressel super rare, and he had my player edition card in there originally, like the sick card. And I was like,
he wanted I like it.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's going for it.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, I think I fired back a counter offer, and then he just sent back and like dropped that player edition card out, and it was I was like, this is too good to pass up. I hate to see Gressel go. He's been really good to start the season. I know he's going to be good the rest of the season. Like, especially
you're
with
close
that
personal friends
card
with Julian Gressel, as of the online variety.
Personal friends. There you go. I did actually like throw him a screen grab of the trade, and I said like, LOL, I just flipped you for Bruno, and he's like sent me a message back like, I love it, man. Like, and so it was.
Man United could use Julian Gressel on the wing. I feel like for sure.
Yes, yeah. But I would like, I need keepers right now for rare. Like, the Pablo Cisniega thing messed me up, so I had to kind of get rid of him. And I had 2 rares, so like I was just kind of using him to like fill out some lineups. And this definitely helped me get some ETH. I was able to. I picked up the Pedro Galese rare
Yep.
earlier in my first 2023
Yeah,
card
in
of the deck.
classic
So
DraftKicks fashion, you already sold the Bruno Fernandez that you traded your Julian Gressel for.
yeah,
Did you even get to use him in a
like
lineup? Did you get him in a lineup before lock?
Bruno. Oh yeah. He
Okay.
won me a card over the weekend in rare.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
it's
Okay,
like
there
a
you go.
0.04 worth. Yeah, 0.04 rare card and some ETH. So
You like
I think I
that?
finished like 84th. Yeah, Bruno was my captain and did some work on international duty. So
And
yeah,
then you
got a
sold him
little
off and bought a
utility out of him.
goalkeeper. Yeah.
Sold him off. I got 2 goalkeepers. I got Blake there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We're gonna do a
we've
live
been making
update on the
moves.
show because it's not just a Blockbuster trade; it's Blockbuster trades. Boom. We
That's
just
right.
updated
There
the
you go.
caption right there. You've been doing
But
deals,
yeah,
man, and it like
hey,
let's talk about one more, and then let's talk about the market in general. But you got a huge Pavel trader deal for Andre Blake, the GOAT. Look at these names.
yeah. So I follow. I think it's just at the goalkeeper on Twitter, like a huge
Mhm.
Philadelphia Union insider.
Well,
Literally, like right before I
yeah,
made the
I got in
trade.
some beef with him
Yeah.
last weekend, by the way, because he was complaining about ML
Oh,
at the international break. Now, it wasn't with him actually,
okay.
but it was in reaction to his story that he wrote.
Yeah. So he tweeted out and said Andre Blake's possibly going to return this weekend, like quicker than anticipated. And
Yeah.
so I run to the market. Pal's the cheapest on. Well, I was surprised too. Well, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Like Pal owns every card, but like, oh wow, Pal's got a card. Let's see if we can cook something up
Yeah.
through some. The Clint Irwin project. I mean, that was. I
Yeah.
sold a few cards. Like I probably broke even on that project altogether, but I had a bunch of Clint Irwins
It
lingering. Some
worked
others.
while Dane
Nick.
Sinclair was out. Yeah. You might as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, let me just throw some stuff together. Throw a nice chunk of ETH in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But for the
It's
price,
it's a
like,
mostly ETH deal with some throw-ins just to make up the value, which you can't complain
yeah,
about. It's a
yeah,
rare,
and like
it's
the
a rare like
price,
even value trade. Like I can't believe Pavel
I
Trader
know.
took this with like the averaging out being so close in value. What happened? Did you catch him
Yeah, for
napping?
sure. Yeah. Click on it if you can. Laird was actually like that was the first thing he said. He's like, "Wow, that's actually a pretty solid trade on your side." And I'm
Right.
like, "Yeah, I was
It's like
surprised that
perfect.
Powell
Yeah.
took it because what is his motto? Like, I'll trade anything at 129%. Like,
Yeah, I think
this
he's
is
up to
not 129%.
177% these days. Like
Yeah,
is
something like
his
that.
new
So
going rate for sure. But yeah, you can dump a Nick Lima who you could these are all what I would call unusable SO5 cards. So anytime you can get a big package of unusable SO5 cards to make up some value on a deal to get you an elite keeper, that's pretty good.
yeah, I was thrilled with it, man. And like I said, like I needed keepers, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind throwing a little bit of ETH out there and just blocking Blake in because he's a keeper. Like he's still got CCL coming up with
Yep.
Philly. Like now that he's back healthy, like knock on wood, I hope I hope they bubble wrap that hammy or quad or whatever it was. But
Exactly.
um,
Well, we
I'm
love
happy
Andre
to have him.
Blake. We love Pavel Trader. We love talking about blockbuster trades, but all this wheeling and dealing you've been doing, it begs the question, our next real topic, is the market back? Is the Sorare market back? Have we hit bottom? Is it time to start climbing again to the moon or what?
Yeah, hey, things are happening. Like there's been a lot more activity than I've seen in the past several weeks, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's like the threshold updates. You got super rare basically doubled as far as like the cap 240
Mm-hmm.
threshold, and so like I said with that Artur trade, like that came out of nowhere. I didn't have Artur in the market, but like he's obviously a guy that's just like consistently game in game out going to hit close to 50.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I mean, things are like things are starting to move a little bit, and
So
it's
you
good to
done
see.
we just talked through two big trades where you traded super rare, good, solid super rares, but maybe not like elite super rares for elite rares. What's your philosophy there for people who are just sort of breaking in? There's a lot of progression happening. What do you think about making that move? Is it a tough bullet to buy? It would be tough for me. Like I feel very covetous and like I want to hold on to my super rares, even the ones that may not be elite. But you went ahead and bit
Yeah,
the bullet and plunged, and you feel like you made your teams better.
yeah, I do. It took me a minute. I even like in negotiations on Discord, I even told the guys like I really need to like take a few minutes and like look at my deck and look at my gallery and see,
Mm-hmm.
can I hit that 240 threshold without Artur? Um, and so, I looked and saw what I had as far as like midfield coverage. I've got Michael Bradley in there. I feel like that's kind of like a like for like with Artur.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, it really was kind of like gallery based. I was like, can I, lose Artur? I actually sold, and you were kind of getting on me a little bit about this, Zach McGraw, super rare
Oof.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And so there's like 3 super rares out the door just like that. And yeah, it's basically like I have just enough depth to where I was okay with it. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like the Zellerite was a little bit of like a sell up as far as like, Artur's value right now. I think you can buy him on the market for like 0.230. I
Okay.
want to say Zellerite is like hovering around 0.3 for his rare. And so yeah, for me, I was like, it was worth the risk as far as like dropping a little bit of coverage, a little bit of depth in my super rare. Yeah, like Fafa's
Yeah, we're
he
looking at
hasn't
the
been
rest of your
great.
super
Like
rares here. Some dog goalies down at the
so
bottom. Whatever.
yeah, it's
Your
not
rest. Poor Felipe, man. If he hadn't gotten caught in that gambling scandal, it kind of ruined his whole career track, unfortunately. But yeah, it
yeah,
seems like
he's
you do
starting
have
to
a.
get some minutes in.
I would suggest you need another super rare goalkeeper because just relying just on Stefan Fry is not great. Because if he's doing good, then his L15 goes up, and it's tough to use him in the cap competition, which is
Yeah.
pretty much what you're focused on. So, but yeah, it begs. It means we just should bring up the fact that the cap competition, the thresholds have gone up. SR 240 is double your pleasure, double your fun, and that's probably part of what's driving this sort of like uptick in the market, which is like the prizes are bigger for cap 240 super rare and cap 240 unique if you're lucky enough to be there. And I don't believe in trickle down economics in real life. I think that's a big fraud. And I think in the general like worldwide economy, rich people just hoard their money and like try to hold on to as much as possible. They don't trickle it down. But in the so rare economy, things do trickle down a little bit from the higher levels to the lower levels because the rising tide does lift all boats a little bit more so in the way this so rare world works, more so than in the real world. So the increase in demand for super rares, I think so rare is doing a good job. If you follow chatter on Twitter, they're bringing new whales into the game. There's a guy named Pranksy who's a big NFT, huge NFT following, who's decided to finally like put some money into so rare and things like that. So slowly but surely, so rare is like it's not one big. They're not like flipping one switch to bring the market back, but they've decreased auction frequency. They've increased prizes. They've went out to recruit to big spenders and bring them into the platform proactively, and stuff like that is starting to see the market come back. You gotta love it.
Yeah, no, I agree. There is, I think, even you can tell from some of the past few shows, like we're like, what it's dead around here. Like it's crickets.
Mm-hmm.
Like not getting offers, not getting much activity. Even when you throw out offers, like prices were super dipping. Which I mean, they're still like rock bottom, but people are willing. Like seems like people have ETH and they're willing to
Mm-hmm.
spread it around a little bit. And I'm not mad about it. I'm here
If
for it.
you know what the elite cards are in the game, and you know guys that are gonna be good, I would say now's the time to buy. I wouldn't be out there sweeping floors on a bunch of mediocre, like speculative type buys just yet because I think the market there's still not a huge bounce. It's more of a recovery than a bounce. But I think uh, if someone's good, a really good card, like really elite cards, your Driussis and whatnot, those cards are going to start to go up faster than the mediocre cards. So like if you've been eyeing them, buy them now. I think.
Hey, I'm ready for my Driussi to hit 1.5. Like you and
I
Larry
think
told
I
me he'd be
predicted that.
this
Yeah.
season
Well,
and less.
I think I told you like what in December. I was like, don't worry. By the time MLS comes back around, it Drew to be 1.5. But that's because the whole market crashed. It's not his fault.
Yeah,
What can I
yeah, it's
say?
not your fault either. But yeah, I did have some hefty offers out there, and yeah, you
Yeah, but
guys helped me back. But I'm not.
he's bagging definite decisives for you. Come on now, man.
There you
You
go.
can't be mad at
Yeah,
holding a Driussi.
and I've got that special edition card too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
I'll trade you. You want to do
that
a?
one's gonna live in
I
my
think
deck.
mine has higher XP level. If you want me to trade my Driussi rare straight up for your championship edition, I'd be glad to do it 1-for-1.
Yeah, I'll keep that in the back pocket.
You've been doing a lot of trades lately. I don't know. Blockbuster trades as we like to say. So another thing to talk about that Kenny came out this week, in addition to the higher thresholds, is the new card designs. Like MLS launched some new card designs, where it's basically like the same as last year's card design with a slight tweak. And then instead of the random patterns in the background, they have the MLS logo in the background of the card, which I think is pretty cool. I have yet to pick up any new ones, so I'm gonna go back over to your gallery here and give you some props. You did pick up a new 2023 edition card, and you're loving it. You're loving life, right?
Yeah, I really like the look of the new cards. I like the the MLS logo baked into the card. I think it's a cool little.
Yeah, here's your first one.
I mean, are there any logos on any other cards, like any other league logos, like, or is this the first?
Do the Premier League ones have logos?
Maybe like little tiny ones down the bottom. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah, I don't
wrong,
know if
but
it's
I don't.
incorporated into the
Yeah, I don't think
whole
they're floating around there. Like,
card
yeah,
itself.
it's.
Yeah.
I like the backdrop. Like, it's a cool kind of a cool little twist. Cool touch, and it kind of is like pays homage to their partnership with MLS, because they announced last season, which I hope we'll start to see some cool things happen, like we're seeing with some of the European leagues, win some tickets to contests, win some VIP like field side passes. Like, let's make it happen. So we're in MLS, get together and find a way to like get some of those contests going on, because it's a partnership, right? I mean, it's
Yeah, exactly. Get us some free tickets. They've been given all kind of free tickets, I know, through contests to European League games. So let's get some for MLS for sure. Many thanks. They sent us to a game last year. They sent it. That Sorare sent us to Charlotte at Orlando last date, coming up about 11 months ago to the day. So it's not like they never do it, but we just want to see more of it. I do think.
Yeah, it took his jersey home from there.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. The reason I put sort of here on the caption is because, like I said before, like you can see. It is new with the MLS logos in the back, but in general, it kind of strongly resembles, you could say, the 2023 card design from 2022 card design from last year. So, and they made an announcement. It used to be like in previous years, the new card design for the year, the 2022s, 21s, and 20s would come out here in the spring when J League and when MLS and K League launched, and now they've moved it to the new. There's going to be new is going to be timed to European League launches at the end of the summer instead. So when there's a 2023/24 design coming out soon, it's going to be for the new European leagues, and when they do the second round of Premier League and all the JPLs and stuff like that, all the long timers. So we'll look forward to seeing what that is. But as for now, I do like that MLS inlay in the background. It's kind of like my little crown inlay, if you will.
There you go. Yeah, throw it back. But no, like this card here, then yeah, I felt like, well, for one, hey, we're Major League, so we're like, we'd be selling ourselves short. We'd be selling the viewers short if we did not have a new card in our deck or our gallery.
I appreciate you doing that, yeah, because I have not. I bid on one, and I was bidding against a guy who I know. I was trying to buy one of the new Charlotte FC cards of a guy that I don't have, and I was bidding against a guy who I know is also a Charlotte FC fan, Amadio. So I was like, I can't overbid this kid. He got in first, so I let him have the one I want, the first one. But I do have a live bid on another one right now, so you can go try to scout that out and find out if you really want. Let's wrap up real quick, talking about the MLS amateur drafts, because this is something new. This launched these. We were complaining, I think last episode, we're like, man, they don't have the amateur drafts. Like, they totally sold MLS out. Only the European leagues get drafts. Like what the hell? But
MLS is back and there's no draft. Come on.
Yeah. But it turned out that we just needed to be patient. Like with all things, patience is a virtue, because the drafts are here. They launched last week. And I actually, spoiler alert, or, peek behind the curtain alert, if you will. I do another podcast that's like not Sorare based. It's just like Charlotte FC fandom based. It's called the Charlotte Soccer Show. And we almost always tape on Thursday nights. We have like a Thirsty Thursday. Go out and get like lit up at a bar and have a good time, record the show or whatever. And then I get home late. This might be why my results are terrible this season so far in MLS, because I get home really late and I'm like, oh shoot, I got to put my freaking teams in. So then it's like my teams, as much as I would like to think I can operate at peak fantasy lineup building capacity when I'm coming off of a toasty evening and a very happy hour, if you will. It has not been proving successful. And last week it pushed so late. All this is to say that last week it pushed so late that I didn't even get my MLS draft team in, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
You've got like a Sunday league team going over there. Like, what kind of club are you running? Come on. Get it together, man.
That's a really good question, man. It's a fair question, and
No,
I don't know
I've
what to
been
say,
there
but I will
before.
have
You
a
know,
team
I've
this
been
week
there
because
before.
we're recording the Charlotte Soccer Show later tonight. So I'm not going out drinking on Thursday this week. I'm going to be home, sitting like a church boy, locked into my computer, searching guys' names, getting injury reports, finding stuff out. So I don't know. I'll texting people on Discord trying to get information, and that's another thing we should poll. I want to poll our listeners here. Should we create a Discord server for the show for Major League Sorare where you and I can hang out and like share advice with people? Because there's part of me that says yes, we should do that because it'd be fun. Then there's another part of me that's like, what do people really need one more Discord server in their lives? That probably everybody's probably already got like too many of them anyway. So who knows?
Right.
But it's a thought. If you have any strong feelings on that, please leave a comment on this video. We'd love to hear. And what are your thoughts on draft mode? Did you get a team in last week? Are you making big changes? What do you you as the MLS expert, you're the MLS fantasy expert, man. I'm expecting you to take down one of these prizes. I need to see you winning limited cards with the common game.
Yeah, no, I mean that is.
If
the
you
plan.
don't, it would be
I
like
love,
finding out Santa Claus doesn't exist for me. Like that's
yeah.
the pressure you're under.
No, that is definitely the plan, and I absolutely love the free to play options. I love just having a couple of extra options there to throw in some of those commons, some of the limiteds, like mix them with a common keeper or something. So yeah, I mean it's fun. And last week I think I attacked, like I had Stuver and Driussi, and then I stacked Nashville. I had Walker Zimmerman and Hani Mukhtar. So it didn't play out. Yeah, it didn't play out like I had hoped. But yeah, like that's kind of how I see it playing out. Like I'm gonna try to pick out some of these really good matchups, like we talked about earlier in the show. And
Dude,
yeah, like just go at it.
I'm just seeing this new 2023 Stuver card, and I might, hold everything. I might need to go get a new Stuve because me, I'm the Stuver guy. I had not seen that he was wearing this jet black, dead sexy new look he's got going here on the new card. I'm gonna have to. There's one on auction here. I'm gonna have to maybe figure out a way to place a bid. This guy's looking good. What can I say?
Yeah, looking sharp, and yeah, like that's
Stephen
yeah,
Fry
that's
looks like
kind
a Stephen Fry looks like he looks like what do you call it? With the Army of the Dead from Game of Thrones. He looks like a White Walker for sure.
Yeah, and then look at Blake. He's partying over there. The
yeah, he's
Jamaican
having
mom.
a good time. He just got back from Jamaica in that photo for sure. I love the new photos. It is great. There's some classic ones.
Yeah.
Javi Arriaga, I think he forgot it was picture day when he showed up. I don't know if we can find him in the stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun to find those pictures. You're like, this guy does not realize.
I mean, what happened, Javi? Did he have to put a NFL helmet on right before he took the picture? His hair looks like an
little toupee. Yeah. But yeah, no, I just shot you my team from last week. Nothing special, but yeah, it was knocking at the door. I think we were like 3,000th out of I don't know what 37,000, which is a pretty impressive number for the first weekend of
here we go
MLS Amateur. MLS
and you
draft.
recommend?
And, yeah.
So here's my recommendation to people on this. Like if you're really like, I would play MLS Amateur, but it's hard for it to take up a ton of my attention because just for not bragging or anything like that, but just the fact of the matter is I'm mostly focused on hoping my super rare lineups do well. That's just like the place I've gotten to in this game after playing for 2 years. So, but if you're listening to this and you're not at that level, it's no shade on you whatsoever. If you're like really grinding the amateur game, I would say like use this as your opportunity to like test theories and like, hey, like I think this guy's gonna be good, even though his price is kind of low. Let me play him in the amateur game. Let me play him in the common game. And then if he has a good performance, maybe that'll back up my instincts. And then next time I feel that same way about a player, I'll actually go buy their card and play it in the limited division and stuff like that. I think that's what amateur mode is meant for, is just like trying to learn, like test theories, like I said, figure out who's good and like see how stacking might work and things like that. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And you really don't have to spend a ton of time on it. Like pick out some matchups that you want to attack, move some things around as far as like what you can work with as far as like their, L15 numbers go. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time. Like, yeah, there's only like 200 cards up top, but might as well like throw a team in,
Yeah, give
spend
it a shot.
few minutes on it. Don't go out hammering beers the night before, and at least give yourself a shot at one of those 200 cards, right?
Yeah, should we create a Discord as one poll, and then should we create a private league? Should we make a Major League Sorare private league where we battle listeners and friends and foes alike on the MLS Amateur Drafts? Actually, that actually sounds like a good idea. I think we will do that. I'm gonna delegate that one out to you as the keeper of the ML Sorare Twitter account. We'll see.
Pile one more thing on the plate, okay?
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're not driving all over the greater continental United States, taking all your young prospects to soccer matches. But how's everybody doing? By the way,
together here.
When is your first the first you do you if your son ever gets to become a MLS player and gets a Sorare unique card? Is there any limit to what you would have to be forced to pay to defend your fatherly dignity on that one? You couldn't let anybody else get it, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, that would be questionable at best. But yeah, I mean, like it's for me, like it's really cool just even seeing like from afar some of the prospects, like up and coming players that like you can tell you're like I might actually like end up seeing this kid play on TV or play like in an MLS stadium one day. There's been few kids from my oldest son. He plays U17 soccer. There's been a few kids that have gone from his team in Kentucky to the Nashville SC Academy. And one of the players actually, Huntsville City now. They're starting to utilize some of those. Like
Huntsville City came and played in Charlotte last Sunday and won in a shootout.
Yeah,
on the next pro.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of Nashville coming down the pipeline there to Huntsville, just right down the road from Nashville. And so, really cool to see. Like who knows? I would love to see my son excel as far as possible, but just for me, I try to like take a step back and just say like appreciate the talent that I'm getting to see in general.
I would be popping you on the 1 of 100 rare, like so hardcore on your own son. I'd be like, nah, this guy, he's not gonna get out cheap here on this one. I don't care if he's a DNP. Yeah. I'm making DraftKicks pay for sure. It's so funny. Well, without further ado, let's get to the definite decisives, right? Because that's really what it's all about. That's what people watch for, so they can either celebrate with us or make fun of us. We go back to track last week's, which we did show early in the episode. But congratulations. I went 0 for 3, but you actually nailed. You got in the yellow here with your guaranteed goal. Driussi didn't get the goal, but he got the assist. Tommy blanked. Calendar gave up 3, I think, to Chicago. That's rough. McMath gave up 4 to St. Louis. That was huge. Maxi Arudi, I had to strike through my Jonathan Mon. I'm gonna have to strike through my Maxi Arudi pick. Another just horrible pick for me. He didn't even get on the pitch. So what can you do? Oh, wow. Kai Wagner, maybe that's where he picked up the knock. Was that match where he did not deliver me the assist I was hoping for? But what do we got this week?
Yeah, you want me to start off with the could be clean sheet, or should it be a couldn't be clean sheet after our guys gave up like 7 goals last week?
Yeah, go for it. I mean, it's your newest addition, right? Yeah. It's the guy you bought his card. You might as well hope he gets a clean sheet.
Yeah, I've got to go with guy. Say it's a little bittersweet though. I mean, I like Nashville. I'm not like gung ho Nashville fan, like nowhere near like you are with Charlotte. But they are hour and a half down the road, so like I pull for them. But all that to say, like I watch them a lot too, and I can readily admit like their attack has not looked the best. If Mukhtar is not firing, then that's like Nashville's attack goes as Mukhtar goes. Like he's been kind of just like pedestrian so far this season.
Yeah, that's
and so true.
But I feel like he's rounding into form. He was better just to the eye. He was a lot better last game.
Oh yeah, just it's with him. Then like he could totally pop off this game for a hat trick. Right. Like he's just one of those players, like kind of borderline matchup proof. But like I also feel like teams in MLS like recognize like, hey, we've got to shut Mukhtar down, and then from there it's like there's not really a whole lot like other like just not too many other
make
threats.
Jacob Schaffelberg beat us, basically, is the mantra.
Or Pico,
Fafa. You would love to see Fafa come through with a decisive. Yeah. I'm gonna reveal my first one. I'm gonna go with my assist first. How about that? And I'm gonna think it's Opoku.
Oh wow.
Opoku has been balling. Opoku's been having just a hell of a season so far, and it's really coming together. I think LAFC has been the joy he plays with on the field is really what I love to see with this guy. He's like having so much fun out there. He like LAFC is a team that I really enjoyed watching their first year when Vela was just like all world, and then the last couple seasons they've morphed into an identity that I didn't really have fun watching all that much. But Opoku has kind of changed that. He's definitely like I think I got his name spelled wrong there. I got to fix that. Sorry, Quodwo. He's really fun to watch. What can I say? I don't know. The whole point of being a soccer fan is to enjoy what you're doing when you watch your games, right? So I think this week it pays off. He gets on the decisive score sheet because I finally learned how to spell his name correctly.
Yeah, I like it, and they should be back to like almost full best 11. Like they'll have all their international duty guys back.
Yeah,
and so yeah, like Belonga for one, like we got to give Belonga some love. Like
he doesn't even.
Guy comes back, flies across the world, and comes on and scores the game winner.
Yeah, what a day!
It was
13-hour flight. Gets in and subs in the match and hits the winner. Absolute insanity. You can see as we dip back to the odd sheet real quick, LAFC, the rare road favorite going into Colorado. Things are not looking good for Colorado, and I think they're going to continue to struggle for sure.
Yeah, no, I like the shot. And I mean, I like mixing it up a little bit. Like it feels like some of our picks are pretty plain Jane, just like, I don't know, like low hanging fruit. And
right, exactly. I'm trying to get risky. That was the idea behind the Arudi pick. So who knows? At this point, Opoku probably won't even start the match. But let's move on to your automatic assist, which is Lucas. I mentioned earlier that sometimes he doesn't have the best track record coming back off of an international break, but the matchup is just too juicy on this one. Like we said, it's AAA matchup on Sorare data. They're decent Vegas faves. They're -110 at home. Real Salt Lake is just a dumpster fire. I like the idea of Lucas getting on the score sheet here.
Yeah, and it's one of those two where it's like, yeah, you mentioned like, yeah, the travel, all the just coming back off of international duty. Well, they played Armenia played yesterday. We're recording on a Wednesday. They played Tuesday. He's got plenty of time to get back into the mix.
Sure.
Like I would imagine he's probably gonna be arriving back in Ohio, maybe Thursday, have a couple of days to get reintegrated into the group. Sure. I'm fine with it. Like, and hey, too, like Cucho, he's out with a knee knock, so they're going to need somebody to. Well, obviously they had several players step up to carry the goal scoring load, dropping 6 goals.
Yeah, Aiden Morris season has arrived for sure.
Yeah, what's up with the Morris brothers? What did they have? Like, Jordan drops 4 goals. Aiden Morris pops up out of nowhere. Like,
don't get me started on Jomo, please. I can't take Jomo. I should have made him my guaranteed goal last week, though, for sure. You talk about low hanging fruit and like trying to make less obvious picks. Obviously, if you have Lucas, you're going to put him in a lineup, but there may be some hesitation with that international travel. So I like getting the seal of approval from you there, Schuyler, for sure. Let me reveal my guaranteed goal next, which is Jesus Ferreira. I think it's time for Jesus to just leave Chicago and get a goal on his hand. This weekend, he's kind of a streaky player. He runs a little bit hot, cold, but again, it's all about matchups for me when I'm deciding these things. And Dallas's matchup at home against the shit show Timbers. I think FC Dallas the biggest favorite on the board here at -160. It might have been Philadelphia 165, Dallas 160. So give me Jesus getting on the board. I know I can safely take him for a guaranteed goal because I know even if I can at least get some yellow there because he'll get an assist if he doesn't get the goal. I feel pretty strongly.
Yeah, I like it, and he's one of those too. Like he might cherry pick an assist because he's a set piece taking forward. So yeah, like if you don't get the goal, then good chance. I see what you're doing there, Tripp.
Yeah. Well, so final picks, and this is where we go head to head. This is not. It's about to get a little testy here on the old Zoom call. I'm going to reveal your guaranteed goal first. We talked about this as we were pre-planning the show, doing some show notes and whatnot. You got Bernardeschi. Federico, a juicy matchup is the theme on all this. At home against Charlotte FC, who have conceded goals in every match. I think they've conceded off the top of my head, 9 goals in 5 games, if I count right. I've
You know
been to
better
all the
than I
games,
do.
and so I get it. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Pick a guy who's going to have the ball at his feet all the time and be over all the set pieces. Probably penalties also for Bernadeschi for Toronto. Or would Bradley take?
Yep. Yeah,
Or
no, it's Burn. Yeah, it's Bernie on Picos, and yeah, Insigne is still MIA. Like, Dio, he's out. Diamande, like,
Yep.
he was supposed to be one of
Was
their top
Akinola on
forwards
the
this
bench
season.
last week? Io was almost
Akinola,
back.
he was actually called up to Canada, and he came off the
Oh,
bench for Canada. So he
okay.
was on internet. So
Gotcha.
he's healthy. He's back.
He's
And
back.
so yeah, there's a chance that Io gets some good minutes this weekend. But yeah, Bernadetti's like he's the guy as far as like you said, like standing over set pieces, standing over corners, standing over PKs, and yeah, I just feel like that matchup at home against Charlotte is one that they've got to be eyeing and saying this is 3 points. So sorry, Tripp. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's just
Well,
being
not
real.
only
Okay?
actually, I'd love to hear it. It's a giant, what I would say, a come at me, bro. It's an FU pick with my could be clean sheet. I'm going George Marks on the
Oh
road.
baby,
He's going to go up to
for the
Toronto. He's
crown.
going to stop everything, and I think it's time for Charlotte to keep their first clean sheet of the season. And it's time to get a win. I think we got this. And Bernadeschi's going to be completely clueless, have no idea what's going on. The defense for Charlotte is going to gel. And I don't know if we're going to be wearing these crown jewel kits or if we're going to be back to our blue and whites, but I do know that it's Mark's season, baby. And I love going head to head on a could be clean sheet versus a guaranteed goal. This might be our spiciest, definite, decisive segment yet. And let us know, like I said, in the comments. Let us know which side of this you'd rather be on, I guess, if you're a listener and you're wondering how strong these definite decisive recommendations can actually turn out to be. But we love giving them either way.
Yeah, no, it was fun. Really cool to have somebody reach out on Twitter and say, like, guys, like, love the content. I actually won like my first, I want to say he said like his first rare card or something.
Yeah, I think it was first tier one. We won first tier one limited.
First tier one, yeah. So
but
either
also,
way,
I think
like just really cool.
In the amateur contest as well. So
yeah, just in general, just love that this project is something that at least is helping somebody out. Like there's one person out there that's gotten a little bit of gotten a little something out of it, and then
if I can make a difference, I mean,
we're having
just
fun.
This one, it's like throwing starfish back into the ocean, you know.
That's right. But hey, real quick, like hitting on Marks, like what do you feel like is going to happen with him in general? Because I've actually been like I've seen Kalina floating around. Like, is he enough to where I should just grab a Kalina and put him in the collection when he gets back?
I would say yes, except he's not. He's just his price never came down. Kalina's price just has never dropped low enough to the point where you would just want to pick him up. Unfortunately, he's just
Marks is in that like weird spot. Yeah, Marks is in that weird Marks, like in between starter and
and he's also
Marks is
under 23, which complicates it even that little bit much more. Let me pop Kalina's screen up here and just like, I mean, he's still at floor price of 0.279. That's just like tough to take a flyer on.
You could get a
starter.
Probably
will go up. Yeah, I mean, he probably will go up once he does finally get back in there and get starting. As you can see, he's got a back injury. He had back surgery in January, I think, or maybe. And so he is back in training. You can see, I would love to have him come back. I got his 1 of 1,000 and his 1 of 10 and his 6 of 10. I'd love to have him come back, but I still think it will be late April. I still think it's a George Marks until George Marks like does bad and gives reason for a switch back. I think Marks will be the starter for Charlotte FC until Kalina comes back, and then it will get to be a little bit more of a situation. If Marks is just playing out of his mind and we start getting some clean sheets, it could take a little while for Kalina to even work back in. Like he might start on the bench a few games and then wait for a bad game by the kids. So I think it's a ride the hot keeper situation, which is the ultimate kick in the freaking what's for so rare SO5 purposes. Right. It's kind of a stay away at this point. Unfortunately, I just own these guys because I'm a Charlotte FC fan. It's their collector cards for me. But if I was not, I would have been selling these guys off long ago. And I should have sold my excess Cisniegas. I got burned with like two Cisniegas that are just digital dust now. So please sell them. If you're listening to me, Zoran Cornetta, sell Cisniega to a bad Liga MX team, please, and let him start to dominate down there. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Hey, that's what I wanted to hear. I'm trying to figure out you're the go-to guy as far as the Charlotte.
There's one thing I know.
Inside info.
I know exactly. Yeah. Well, but yeah, so it's a stay away. Unfortunately, I would love to be out there telling people to buy for the Crown players, but it's a stay away. That's all we got for you guys. Enjoy the game week building. I'll be with you in sober spirit this weekend, as opposed to my normal drunken hijinks on build night. So looking forward to that. I might be tougher competition for all y'all out there this week. We'll have to see. I'm at least hoping to finally have one week where I do better than DraftKicks, but it's going to be tough. I don't know if it's going to pull off. You got more goalies than me now, man. You got your goalie stable is looking strong, and mine is looking very weak. It's not good.
There's just so many contests out there. I want to be involved. I want to be a part of it. But yeah, if I'm not up there at the top, I definitely hope it's you. Hope it's somebody out there that's watching. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and thanks for all the love. And see you guys next week.
Vamos MLS.